Marcus Rashford's downfall at Manchester United isn't just a bad run of form, it's a collapse of years in the making. He was living every young footballer's dream, a local kid from Manchester making it through the academy and looking set to become the face of Manchester United, the future of United, the one fans believed would lead them back to glory. He had pace, he had skill, and in those early years he had that magic, those moments where you thought, this kid is really special. But now, Rashford is a shadow of the player he once was, from golden boy to being booed by his own fans, from leading the line to jogging aimlessly with his head down, from United's next big thing to a player fans want out of the club. So what went wrong? How did Marcus Rashford go from the future of Manchester United to a player who might not even be part of it? And look, we can't really know how bad the situation is unless we analyze how Rashford got to this point and where it all began. Manchester, 31st of October 1997. Marcus Rashford is born. He comes from a working class family, with his mother being a single parent who worked multiple jobs and sometimes skipped meals to ensure that her children had enough to eat. I'm saying this because Marcus wasn't the only child. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters, so his single mother had to take care of 5 kids at once. But you know what they say, the more people, the more divided opinions. So Marcus grew up in a family divided in their support of Manchester United and Manchester City. But he of course was a die-hard Man United fan ever since his childhood. So Rashford attended a school where United have sent their academy players since 1998, which was close to the Carrington training ground. But he didn't care about school really. All he wanted to do was play football. And at the early age of 5 he began playing for Fletcher Moss Rangers. Do you know what role he had at the club? Striker, winger, midfielder, defender? Nope. A freaking goalkeeper, yo. The officer from Rashford's first club said that he was on a different level to other boys, and he was crucial in Rangers' tournament win with 15 scouts from different clubs watching. But here is the thing. Before joining Manchester United, he spent a week training with Manchester City. Crazy to think that Rashford once trained for City. Returning to our story, at 7 years of age, Rashford joined the academy system at Manchester United, where many coaches saw his potential due to his athleticism. However, one problem Rashford had was transportation. Because his mother and brothers worked, nobody could drive Marcus to training. So for the early years at the club, he missed several training sessions, but he eventually received assistance from the club in finding drivers. Still, despite all the issues, Rashford at 11 years old was selected for the Manchester United Schoolboy Scholars scheme. He began playing cage football with players like Pogba and Lingard. He was so good for his age that in 2014 The Guardian named him Manchester United's best prospect. And now it's time for Rashford to become the next big thing after being just a local lad from Manchester. Because in 2013-2014, at 16 years old, he trained for the first time with United's first team, and only 2 years later, in 2015-2016, Rashford made his debut for United. He scored 2 goals on his debut. But this was just the beginning, as what happened next was even crazier. Because he again shocked the world in his Premier League debut, as he scored 2 goals and assisted 1. And you thought that's it? No! In March 2016, he scored the only goal in the Manchester derby, winning the first away league game against City since 2012. And at 18 years and 141 days, Rashford becomes the youngest scorer in the fixture in the Premier League, overtaking even Wayne Rooney's record. But again, this is not all. Rashford was loved by Van Gaal. However, he had to be replaced because of the poor performances, and there was one manager who would change the face of Manchester United forever. When Jose Mourinho came to the club, he gave Rashford the number 19. And with the arrival of Ibrahimovic, Rashford had to accept the fact that he would sit on the bench for most of the season. Despite this, Zlatan said that Marcus was a huge talent and the future of England. Turns out Ibra, as always, was right. Rashford was named as runner-up to Renato Sanchez in the Golden Boy Award in October, and although this was a disappointment for Rashford, more silverware was coming his way, as in February he won the EFL Cup and in May he started in the Europa League final against Ajax, which United won. And remember when I said in the beginning that he would spend most of the season on the bench because of Ibra? Yeah, about that. Mourinho found a solution. He played Rashford as a winger, and as a result, he had the most appearances of any United player, playing 53 times. However, the next few seasons were even more special. After a solid start in the 2017 season, Rashford came third in the 2017 Golden Boy Award, behind Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele. And I think people don't give this enough attention. The guy almost won the Golden Boy in back-to-back seasons while being at Manchester United. This is really impressive. Moving on, in the 2018-2019 season, Rashford was given the legendary number 10, a number which was worn by legends like Van Nistelrooy and Wayne Rooney. Rashford was expected to lead Man United, however, he would have to do that without Mourinho now, as he was replaced by Solskjaer. Under Solskjaer, United had hope, especially because of that game against PSG, where Rashford scored a penalty to complete the comeback and progress through the quarterfinals, where United ultimately stopped. See, everyone after that game thought that United were really back, and with Solskjaer they would reach new heights, but he was also sacked and replaced by Rangnick, who would get replaced by Ten Hag, because again, the team didn't perform. And many said that Rashford would never reach his full potential at United. So were they right? See, Marcus had a huge problem, his mind. When Ten Hag became coach, Rashford had a crazy run, but he could never maintain it because United had a poor team and they didn't really have a structure. But that's also because United players have a weak mentality. They get paid and they don't want to work afterwards. No matter what they do, they have a secured place at the club. And with Ten Hag, with each passing day, players got lazier and lazier. But did it matter for the club's directors? No. In July 2023, Rashford signed a new contract with Man United until 2028, for which he was paid £325,000 per week, despite fans saying that Rashford was not good enough for several years since Mourinho left. The truth is that he got comfortable. The fans always supported him because he was seen as the future of Man United. Ten Hag also always supported him, and the salary he got was just ridiculous. He had a similar salary to Mohamed Salah, who is 10 times the player Marcus is. Salah is a hard-working player who only thinks about football and how to improve, while Rashford is lazy. He doesn't want to press, run or improve. He would rather party and make the best of the money he gets for being regarded as one generational talent. But mind you, Rashford is not the 18-year-old youngster he was in 2016 anymore. He is 27 and his mindset would soon prove to be the main reason for his downfall. But something happened that made the situation even worse for Rashford. After Ruben Amorim became United manager, things started to change. Amorim no longer secured a place for every player who had a big name. Since his appointment, everyone had to work in order to start games, and consequently Garnacho and Rashford were left out of the squad numerous times, because they didn't perform in training, had no discipline or were simply lazy. But things would take a turn for Rashford when in December he publicly stated that he is ready for a new challenge. challenge. And for the rest of December 2024 and January 2025, he was omitted from most of United's match squads. When asked about Rashford's absence, Amorim simply said that he doesn't want to select a player who doesn't give the maximum every day. And as a result, on 2nd of February 2025, United sent Rashford on loan to Aston Villa with an option to buy for only £40 million. Kind of sad to see where a once generational talent ended up, but at the same time he has no one else to blame but himself. And unfortunately for United fans, they will never see their local lad become the Manchester United legend he was destined to be. So what do you think? Where will Rashford end up in the next 5 years?